Have you ever loved a dog, a dear friend, or Leonardo DiCaprio? Well then, sorry. Hey guys, I'm Rebecca and welcome to MsMojo. Today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 movie endings that will make you cry. Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. Do you ever want to watch like a really sad movie just so you can feel something and bawl your eyes out? Oh, we have got you covered. Also, because this list concerns the movie endings, a spoiler alert is now in effect.
Be sure to keep in touch, Cece, okay?
Well, sure. We're friends, aren't we?
Are you enjoying the song you're hearing? Do you feel like getting the tears flowing even more? So Weedy knows what it's like to feel emotional. Check out the song by clicking the link below. Number 10. The Fault in Our Stars. Based on the John Green novel of the same name, The Fault in Our Stars follows a pair of young cancer patients who fall in love.
You gave me a forever within the numbered days, and for that I am eternally grateful. I love you so much.
While the premise alone suggests a tragedy, the engaging love story will nonetheless pull you in, and the ending still manages to surprise, as Gus, who is apparently in remission, ends up being the one to succumb to the disease.
Funerals, I decided, are not for the dead. They're for the living.
Hazel's pre-funeral eulogy is very touching, and the message Gus leaves behind after his death will have you sobbing, if you aren't already.
You don't get to choose if you get hurt in this world, but you do have a say in who hurts you. And I like my choices. I hope she likes hers. Okay, Hazel Grace?
Okay.
Number 9. Hachi, A Dog's Tale. A remake of a film based on a true story, Hachi, A Dog's Tale explores the friendship between Parker, a professor, and the titular dog that he accidentally gains ownership of.
Hey, buddy. You lost?
Every day, Hachi follows Parker to the train station and then waits for him to return. Sadly, Parker eventually dies while at work, and so never returns by train, prompting Hachi to spend years waiting for his master to return home, eventually dying in the train station, having become a permanent fixture there. While the story it's based on has spawned plenty of tributes in pop culture, Hachi, A Dog's Tale still manages to tug at our heartstrings with its particular take on a familiar, tragic story of man's best friend. Number 8. Gladiator.
Maximus. Quintus. Free my men.
This is the epic story of Maximus, a Roman general who experiences betrayal and the loss of his wife and son. Gladiator follows Maximus as he rises through the gladiatorial pits to confront the emperor responsible for his fall from grace. Despite being stabbed before his duel with the vile ruler, Maximus nevertheless manages to overcome this handicap to defeat his hated foe, before finally succumbing to his wounds. The final sequence of Maximus reuniting with his family in the afterlife is just a whole whirlwind of tear-jerking emotion. Number 7. Brokeback Mountain. A tragic romance between two cowboys torn between their love for each other and their families, not to mention societal pressure, Brokeback Mountain cranks the heartache even higher with its conclusion.
I wish I knew how to quit you.
Jack, who repeatedly pushed for a life with Ennis, dies unexpectedly in an accident, leaving his infrequent lover heartbroken, with only mementos of their time together to comfort him during his time of grief.
By the time somebody come along, he drowned in his own blood.
When Ennis's daughter asks for his blessing to marry her boyfriend, he merely asks that they love each other, heavily suggesting that he's learned that that is all that really matters. His final look at his closet shrine to Jack is just heartbreaking.
Jack, I swear.
Number 6. Marley Me. Yep, it's another dog movie. When a friend of couple John and Jenny suggests they adopt a dog to see if they're ready for parenthood, the rambunctious Marley proves a handful.
Actually,
Ready? Here we go. Come on, you say hello. Oh, no, don't do that. Sorry. You just have to, all you have to do is you just knee him if he does that.
Don't worry about that. It shouldn't happen all the time.
But he ultimately endears himself to the pair and proves a valued part of their family once they start one.
Come on.
What's wrong with him, Dad? Nothing's wrong. He's just tired. Right, Dad?
Yeah, I think the football took it out of him.
Sadly, like most pets, Marley eventually reaches the end of his life before his owners. And his sickness and slow decline make for a very real and relatable situation that many pet owners can empathize with.
You ready?
Yeah, we're ready.
Having to put down a pet you raised is gut-wrenching, and Marley Me condenses that entire experience, start to finish, into less than 2 hours for the audience.
A dog has no use for fancy cars or big homes or designer clothes. A waterlogged stick will do just fine. A dog doesn't care if you're rich or poor, clever or dull, smart or dumb. Give him your heart, and he'll give you his.
Number 5, My Girl.
Dad, I don't want to upset you, but my left breast is developing at a significantly faster rate than my right. It can only mean one thing. Cancer. I'm dying.
Okay. Sweetie, hand me the mayonnaise out of the fridge.
A coming-of-age story about a hypochondriac girl named Veda, My Girl follows her attempts to come to terms with the changing world around her, as well as the guilt she feels for the death of her mother, who died shortly after giving birth to her.
Daddy, how come that coffin's so small?
They come in all sizes, honey, just like shoes.
Is it for a child?
Of course not.
Then who's it for?
Short people.
Unfortunately, Veda is again given an opportunity to blame herself when her friend Thomas J dies of an allergic reaction to bees while looking for a mood ring she lost near a fallen hive.
Did I kill my mother?
What?
The bees killed Thomas J and I killed my mother.
Her grief, while it does help bring her closer to her father, is hard to watch, particularly if you know the pain of having lost someone when you were young.
Weeping Willow, stop your tears. There is something to calm your fears. You think death has ripped you forever apart, but I know he'll always be in your heart.
Number 4, $1 Million Baby. When grizzled boxing trainer Frankie takes on Maggie, an eager up-and-coming boxer, their relationship develops into a pseudo-father-daughter friendship.
You gotta move your feet. That's one of the best things I'm gonna be able to teach you.
Tragically, Maggie's final match ends prematurely when a sucker punch leaves her quadriplegic.
How you feeling, Don?
With her real family seemingly only interested in the money she's made, Maggie sends them away. Grieving for her lost mobility and feeling suicidal, Maggie asks Frankie to end her life, since she can no longer do it herself.
Don't let me lie here till I can't hear those people chanting no more.
While they may not be related by blood, he's the only family she's got. So seeing Frankie wrestle with and ultimately grant Maggie's wish is a real uppercut to the feels.
I'm gonna disconnect your air machine. And you're gonna go to sleep. Then I'll give you a shot and you'll stay asleep.
Number 3, Titanic. A romance set aboard the infamously doomed unsinkable ship, Titanic follows Jack and Rose's relationship as they meet and fall for one another aboard the vessel.
Flying!
Despite overcoming social disapproval due to their differing social classes and real danger, the pair is separated by death when Jack dies of hypothermia in the water while awaiting rescue.
I'll never let go.
An elderly Rose, who relates her story to researchers of the sunken ship, later passes away in her sleep and appears to reunite with Jack and all the others who died aboard the Titanic in a final dream, possibly the afterlife. This touching tribute to the dead lovers and the real people who died aboard the ship is sure to sink even the hardest of hearts. Number 2, The Green Mile. Given that this film follows prison guards and the death row inmates they watch over, it should hardly be a surprise that the ending is tragic.
You kill them with their love. That's how it is every day, all over the world.
There are a number of traumatic executions and deaths during the Green Mile, but its last is easily the most heartbreaking. Gentle giant John Coffey can heal and resurrect people with his supernatural powers, but ultimately finds himself accused of murder after being found trying to resurrect 2 murder victims. John's innocent terror at dying will get even the most cynical viewer weeping. While the leader of the guards lives unnaturally long, allowing him to tell John's story, it's bittersweet consolation to the loss of such a good, sweet man.
We each owe a death. There are no exceptions. But oh God, sometimes the Green Mile seems so long.
Before we unveil our number 1 pick, here are some honorable mentions.
You must be Emily. So nice to meet you.
I want to know why. I want to know why Shelby's life is over. I want to know how that baby will ever know how wonderful his mother was. Will he ever know what she went through for him? Oh, God, I want to know why. Why? Lord, I wish I could understand.
So long, partner.
So stupid. So stupid. Somehow I thought when she finally went, that it would be a relief. Oh, my sweet darling.
It's amazing, Molly. The love inside, you take it with you. See ya. See ya.
Number 1, The Boy in the Striped Pyjamas. Set in and around a Nazi concentration camp, The Boy in the Striped Pyjamas follows an unlikely friendship between a German boy, Bruno, and a Jewish boy, Shmuel, in the camp within occupied Poland.
Can I ask you something? Why do people wear pajamas all day?
They're not pajamas.
Well, those.
We have to. They took all of the clothes away.
Who did?
The soldiers.
Although riddled with historical inaccuracies, the film's strongest aspect is the central friendship between the 2 boys who don't understand the realities of their situation.
Perhaps you can come and have supper with us sometime.
I can't, can I? Because of this.
But that's to stop the animals getting out, isn't it?
Animals? No, it's to stop people getting out.
Are you not allowed out? Why? What have you done?
I'm a Jew.
This youthful ignorance and innocence lead to disaster, though, as the conclusion sees Bruno dress in striped pajamas to help Shmuel find his father, which ultimately leads both to be locked inside and killed in a gas chamber.
It's all right. I think we're just waiting in here until the rain stops.
Few things are as horrific as the Holocaust, but that already awful chapter in human history is made even more devastating when focusing on the death of children. Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from MsMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.